It's the third week of October. It's Alabama, it's Tennessee, and it means something for both teams for the first time in a long time. Mark Rogers TV breaking down the Crimson Tide and the Vols in Knoxville on Saturday, with the Tide as a 13-point favorite. And Josh Dobbs, it's time to break in the new cleats. You're going to be on the move. I've got a feeling, considering a beat-up offensive front and the likes of Ryan Anderson and Tim Williams with a combined 8 sacks chasing after Josh Dobbs, this could be a long day for Tennessee on offense. But let's not fret, Tennessee. There is reason for hope. So first off, think about Alabama's pass defense. It's given up 421 yards to Chad Kelly. I don't give as much validity to the 400 yards given up to Austin Allen last week against Arkansas, because the Tide had a big lead most of that game. But against Chad Kelly, 421, and that game was up in the air until the closing seconds. Josh Dobbs, not that kind of quarterback. Tennessee usually likes to keep him the 20 to 25 pass attempt range. But is he that kind of quarterback? Could he be that kind of quarterback? Last week against Texas A&M, he had to put it up 47 times. He put up 38 points. He got the Vols in comeback mode again and got them to overtime and almost pulled it out, throwing for 398 yards. Of course, Tennessee can't turn it over 7 times again and be in the ball game against this team, the #1 team in college football. They can't turn it over 5 or 3, or that's probably the extent if they have any chance of winning. Okay, issues in this game. Jalen Hurd, just 4 yards per carry, coming off a concussion, should be ready to play, and he will need to be productive in this game. Also look out for Alvin Kamara, not just in the rushing game, in the passing game. Kamara, we saw him at his best out of the backfield receiving the football, and he could be an ace in the hole for Tennessee on offense. And of course, Juwan Jennings, when you're talking about big plays at crucial times, he may not light up the Tide, but he could make that 1 or 2 catches that make a difference. Derek Barnett on defense for Tennessee. He took over the Florida game in the second half. He needs to have that kind of game against one of the best offensive lines in college football. Unfortunately, no Cam Sutton, of course, no Darren Kirkland Jr. for the Tennessee Vols, and no Jalen Reeves-Maybin. They are beat up at Tennessee. For Alabama, they are relatively healthy. Just linebacker Reuben Foster, who leads the Tide with 37 tackles, is somewhat questionable. Concussion symptoms for him as well. Nick Saban was asked about the availability of Reuben Foster, and he said, "Hey, I'm not the doctor. They make the call. I would like the best for the young man. The doctors make the call. Talk to the doctors." Of course, Nick Saban deflecting any injury report there. Okay, Tennessee, there is hope. Remember, last year, the Tide won a national championship. Tennessee, they do this about every 5 years, even when they're no good. They took the Tide to the brink in Tuscaloosa, 19-14 loss. Derrick Henry put the team on his back in the fourth quarter late and scored the game-winning touchdown. But the Vols had the Tide on the ropes before that, and this Tennessee team is better. That Bama team won a national championship, and this one has yet to prove that it's the best team in the country. Still, just too many negatives on Tennessee's side. If they were at full health, maybe this is much closer. I expect an entertaining game, but Bama in Knoxville wins it. Tide 41, Vols 30. Need to hear from you now on Mark Rogers TV.